It started as a sound nobody was supposed to notice. Late one night, inside a deep space listening station operated by NASA, a technician named Daniel was monitoring radio signals from distant parts of the universe. His job was simple: sit in front of the monitors, record unusual frequencies, and report anything that looked strange. Most nights, nothing happened, just endless static drifting through the speakers. But on that night, something appeared on the screen that made him sit up straight. A signal. It was faint but perfectly structured, and it was repeating every 13 seconds. At first, Daniel assumed it was interference from a satellite. Signals bounced around space all the time. But when he checked the coordinates, the signal wasn't coming from Earth orbit. It was coming from far beyond the outer planets, from deep space. Daniel recorded the transmission and began analyzing the audio pattern. The signal looked artificial, like something deliberately transmitted. But that didn't make sense. Nothing built by humans had ever traveled that far in that direction. Curious, he ran the recording through an audio filter to remove background noise. The static slowly faded, and then he heard something that made his hands freeze on the keyboard. Breathing. Slow, uneven breathing. For several seconds, Daniel stared at the speakers, wondering if his mind was playing tricks on him. He replayed the recording. Again, the breathing echoed through the room. Then something else appeared in the sound. A voice. Hello? Daniel immediately called the rest of the night team into the control room. Within minutes, scientists were gathered around the monitor listening to the strange transmission. The recording played again. Breathing. Static. Then the weak voice. Is anyone there? No one spoke, because the voice sounded unmistakably human. The team began checking every active spacecraft in the solar system, satellites, probes, even abandoned missions. Nothing matched the signal's location. The coordinates pointed to a region of empty space, millions of kilometers away from anything humans had ever built. Yet the signal continued repeating every 13 seconds. Breathing, static, a few broken words. The scientists spent the entire night cleaning the audio. Each improvement revealed more of the mysterious message. Finally, the voice became clear enough to understand. This is Captain Miller. If anyone receives this signal, please respond. The room fell silent. The name meant nothing. There had never been a Captain Miller on any recorded space mission. The scientists searched every database from every space agency on Earth. No results. It was as if the person speaking had never existed. Over the next several days, the signal continued broadcasting. More fragments of the message were recovered. Life support failing. We shouldn't have opened it. Something followed us. The words created more questions than answers. What had they opened? And how could anything follow someone through the vacuum of space? Eventually, the decision was made to send an unmanned probe to investigate the signal's origin. The journey would take months, but the mystery was too important to ignore. During the long wait, the signal kept repeating day and night. The breathing became weaker. The voice sounded more desperate. Then one night, the message changed. The new recording sent a chill through the control room. This is Captain Miller. If anyone hears this, do not come here. The warning echoed through the speakers. But by that time, the probe was already traveling through deep space. Months later, the small spacecraft finally approached the coordinates of the signal. Back on Earth, scientists gathered around the monitor as the first images arrived. At first, the screen showed only darkness, stars scattered across an endless black background. Then, something slowly drifted into view, a spacecraft, old, damaged, rotating silently in the emptiness of space. The vessel had no recognizable markings, no flag, no identification numbers. Deep scratches covered the metal surface, as if something violently scraped across the hull. The probe moved closer. One of the ship's windows glowed faintly red. The scientists zoomed the camera toward the light. Inside the window, they could see the interior of the ship. Broken equipment floated through the air. Loose wires drifted like tangled vines. Everything looked abandoned. Then something moved. A shadow slid across the back wall. Several scientists leaned closer to the screen. The camera zoomed further. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a figure slowly floated into the red light. It was a man wearing a torn spacesuit helmet. His face looked pale and frozen. His eyes were open, but they didn't move. The control room was completely silent. Then, the man's head slowly turned toward the camera. At that exact moment, the mysterious signal began playing again through the speakers. But this time, the voice sounded different. Calm.